It's very, very important to make our expectations known to our spouse. It's all about the big E, expectations. Whenever I counsel a couple and they come in and say, I was disappointed about this, one of them, or the other one says, I was disappointed about that, it always, I remind them, goes back to the big E, expectations. We absolutely need to let each other know our expectations. Before marriage, going premaritally again, when expectations get met over and over and over before marriage, and that causes a couple to say, hey, this feels gratifying, I want to get married. After marriage, meeting each other's expectations makes a huge difference as well. And whenever I'm disappointed in my wife, it always goes back to an expectation. Whenever she's disappointed in me, it goes back to an expectation. Now, usually when I'm disappointed, it's my mistake because I forgot to let her know my expectation. When she's disappointed in me, it's not my mistake, it's her mistake. She forgot to let her expectation be known. And in terms of making expectations known, it always needs to be in the form of a request. And I love the words, will you please? Not would you please, could you please, can you please? I think that's psychologically harder on the ears. It's will you please do this or will you please do that? When a husband before marriage asks his wife to marry him, he doesn't say, could you please marry me? Can you please marry me? Would you please? He asks his future wife, will you please marry me? And that, it needs to be in the form of request. Sentences are commands, demands, and orders. And so I can use the rule of courtesy and say to my wife, please do this or please do that, but that's a command. And after having known her nearly half a century, that can rub her the wrong way because she feels like I'm trying to take control of her life and ordering her around. And so, will you please is the way to make expectations known. And even though I'm a marriage expert and have written a book and helped thousands of couples through these simple yet effective habits have a happy marriage, I can tell you I will slip up and say to my wife, Jenny, please do this. And she'll kind of smile at me and say, Randy, is that a please do this or is that a will you please do this? So I can goof up as well. But you can just see how that feels so much better because she may say, no, Randy, I don't have time right now. And so with expectations, that's the heart of the marriage. I've mentioned a lot of important, simple yet effective habits. Make request with a will you please. And do that on a daily and if not daily, regular basis. Because when you're disappointed in your marriage, it goes back to an expectation, and usually it was an unexpressed expectation. I think it's very important with Christmas and birthday gifts or any expectations to not cause a spouse to have to guess. We need to be specific and let a spouse know what they would enjoy. With pretty much most all aspects of marriage, don't do a lot of guesswork. No one can read minds. Psychologists are trained to read minds, but they cannot read minds. Make your expectations known, whether it's Christmas gifts, birthday gifts, anniversary gifts, and that leads, when their expectations are met, whether it's gifts or whatever, that leads to an emotional connection.